everybody, it is Julie. Welcome back to Pages and Pens. Today I am here with a book tag. It is the Birthstone Book Tag, which was originally created by JG over at the Awkward Bookworm because she has mentioned that I have to do this a lot on my video, on other people's videos. She did create this before I had a channel, so I haven't been officially tagged. She's non-officially told me repeatedly that I need to do it, so I'm going to finally do it. However, I have not looked at these questions. I don't have books pulled, so I know for all of you who are going to say, it would be really helpful if you showed us the cover of the book. I'm not putting in 12 books, and I'm not going to jump up and go get them. So unless it's really obscure, I trust that you can look them up on Goodreads or on Google. But I'm going to look at these questions and then try to come up with an answer without too much stuttering so that my battery life and my camera don't overheat. And this is just how we're going to do this. So excuse me for looking down, but these are very in-depth questions with a lot of information. So I'm gonna have to look down to read them, and then I will look up to answer them, I promise. January, which is Garnet, and this is associated with warding off negative forces and dark energies. Name a book with the darkest, evilest character you can think of. Okay, listen, I know it's gonna be obnoxious to start the tag off with this, but Sauron and Saruman from The Lord of the Rings are legit super horrifying and badass and all-seeing. Like, you can't escape them. So them. And then February is Amethyst. Purple is associated with royalty. And name a book with regal qualities. You can base this off of characters or choose the king of all books. For this, I'm going to go legitimately, the first thing that came to my head was the Royal series by Aaron Watt, which is about the royal boys. It's essentially YA 50 Shades of Grey, and I'm trash for it. I have a whole review up for the series, or the first 3 books of the series, and I will link that up above because I love them. But if you ask me about regal and royalty, I'm gonna say the royals every time. It's not great, but it's great for what it is. March is Aquamarine, washed out. Name a wishy-washy character, a character who is not strong or is a follower, or not a follower. Not strong or a follower, just like in the middle of the road. Okay, a wishy-washy character, eh? I'm gonna say Adam from the Shatter Me series by Tahereh Mafi. Juliet is relatively strong, she's got a lot of powers. Warner is very strong, very opinionated. Adam to me always just felt like a meh character and was, I don't know, I know he's described as physically strong, but he's just such a meh, wishy-washy, back and forth character. So that's what I'm gonna say, because it's the first thing that came to my head. So I'm sticking with it. Next up is April, Diamond. A diamond in the rough. Name a book that you loved but's not well known. Again, can I just continue to talk about Kim Harrison's The Hollow series? Because it's phenomenal. I feel like nobody talks about it. Along the same lines and veins of the Anita Blake series or the Sookie Stackhouse series in terms of it being urban fantasy and paranormal and a mix of a ton of different genres, and it's phenomenal. I think it's more well written than the other 2 series, but nobody talks about it, and it's one of my all-time favorite. May is Emerald, which is said to balance energy. Name 2 characters who balance each other well. Mucky Ducky. Give me a second. I'm gonna come up with someone. I mean, okay, so let's go over a couple different people because I think there's a couple for this, but I think Merry and Pippin balance each other very well. I think Sam and Frodo balance each other very well. I think that Legolas and Gimli balance each other really well. Apparently a lot of the Lord of the Rings kind of characters definitely form these duos that I think play off of each other really, really nicely. I almost want to say like Harry and Draco balance each other well in terms of their competing characteristics. So maybe the 2 of them. June is a pearl associated with loyalty. Name a character who is loyal to the end. Can I continue to say Sam? Samwise Gamgee, loyal to the end? Like, no joke, he is the epitome of loyal to the end. But I'm going to stick with Neville Longbottom for this one. I know, another Harry Potter, but Neville legitimately epitomizes loyalty. Reese from A Court of Mist and Fury as well, I think. Super loyal to the end. I'll stick with that one. July is Ruby, Blood Red. Name a book that made your blood boil or one that made you angry. I'm going to say Dare Me by Megan Abbott, which was flippin' garbage. It had no redeeming qualities and was god awful. I've talked about it before, but it epitomized girl on girl hate and eating disorders and rape, or falsified rape, and glorified all of them. It was a hateful book, and it made me so mad. And then 8 is August and Peridot. Pale green. It pales in comparison to other gems. Name a supporting character you like better than the main character. Kenji in the Shatter Me series, Nikolai from the Grisha trilogy. My absolute favorite supporting character is Susanna from the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy, and also Knight of Cake and Puppets. She is phenomenal. Susanna and Mick are the friends. Well, Susanna's the friend of the main character, Karu, and she's phenomenal, but Mick is her boyfriend, and he's also amazing, and the two of them are by far some of the best supporting characters. They are loyal and amazing. They qualify for pretty much like any of these. September, which is my birthday month, Sapphire. Blue like an ocean, which is calming. Name a book that had a calming effect on you. I'm gonna go ahead and say the Mistborn series, because it's so high fantasy and it has such political intrigue in it that there's a lot of periods where things are happening, but it's not high action. Like, moves are being made. The characters might be in stasis while that's happening because it's political stuff. It is a very well written and complex book, but it's not always action, go. So for me to read that was actually kind of zen, because I could lose myself in a world that was completely not my own, and I just loved it. So I'll say that. 10 is Opal, Iridescent. Name an iridescent book. This can be a book with a beautiful shiny cover, or that you can base characters off of it that are quirky and colorful. Knight of Cake and Puppets, which is both colorful and has Mick and Zeus in it, so it's super colorful in general. This is Knight of Cake and Puppets, which is not only gorgeous. The front of the cover has Susanna, the back of the cover has Mick. The inside of each flap is blue or pink respectively, split down the middle in this gradient in the cover. There is artwork on the inside of it as well. It is a stunning, stunning book. I love it. And the cover itself is just colorful. The characters are the quirkiest. Like, I don't think you get any quirkier than Mick and Zeus. I really don't. And I hate to keep using the same people, but I'm going to say that. And then also, which I can't get out, so I'm going to show you this, the Beneath the Sugar Sky by Shauna McGuire, but this is just a stand-in for my Wayward Children series, which is over here that I can't get out. They are colorful, quirky, dark, troubled kids, and it's not necessarily that they're, like, this is the most colorful cover that the series has, which is just the arc, which I'm assuming that the final is going to look like this because this is what's on Goodreads. But the characters are very colorful and quirky and diverse and amazing, so I will also say this series. 11 is Topaz for November, and this is associated with resilience. Name a book with a character who rises to the top in the time of adversity. Jeff Centner's Goodbye Days, which is about a kid who texts his friend while he is driving and causes the death of, I think, 4 or 5 of his friends, or causes it. The driver reads the text message and the kids crash and all of his friends die. And it was horrific and horrible and heartbreaking because this kid has his own guilt about the text message, and then the parents are kind of blaming him for it as well. I can't imagine trying to move on after that when all of your friends are gone. This kid does. He has to find a way to, so I'm going to say Goodbye Days by Jeff Zentner. Final question, number 12, is December Blue Zircon? I don't know. And this is associated with friendship. Name a book with a friendship you want to be a part of. Either Eliza and Her Monsters or The Upside of Unrequited, because both of them have such cute friend groups. Particularly Eliza and Her Monsters, because it's this like nerdy fandom and they're so adorable. Also, I would not mind being a part of the Night Court. Those guys are crazy, twisted, but loyal and badass. And that's from Sarah J. Maas's A Court of Mist and Fury. Anybody on the ship for The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, because they're also crazy diverse, but loyal and loving and like a chosen family, and I love them too. So that's been everything for the Birthstone Book Tag. Jay, I'm sorry it took me so long, but I finally got to it. This has been around since February of 2016, so it's been a hot minute. If you haven't done this yet though, go ahead and give it a try. It's pretty fun. Thank you for watching this tag. If you liked it, go ahead and give me a big thumbs up, click subscribe, and I will see all of you in my next video. Bye guys.